From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell. Prime Minister Mark Carney condemned new Russian air attacks overnight in Ukraine and says Moscow needs to cooperate if there will ever be peace in the region again. Carney welcomed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to Halifax today as the two sat down to go over a peace initiative the Eastern European leader will discuss with the U.S. tomorrow. Carney told reporters that Russia's buy-in to the peace plan is critical.
We have the conditions, the possibility of a just and lasting peace. But that requires a willing Russia.
Canada will provide a further $2.5 billion of economic assistance for Ukraine to unlock financing from other organizations. Meanwhile, it was another sleepless night for people across Ukraine amid Russia's major attack early today. ABC's Marcus Moore breaks down the barrage.
This was a massive attack, one that went on for several hours in Ukraine. We know that Russia, according to Ukrainian officials, launched some 500 drones and about 40 missiles at the capital city of Kyiv. The targets, according to officials, were a critical infrastructure as well as residential buildings. At least 2 people were killed, and that in Kyiv alone, there were more than 30 injuries.
Standing beside Prime Minister Mark Carney at an airport in Halifax, President Zelenskyy suggested the attack is Russia's answer on peace efforts and that Russian President Vladimir Putin doesn't want peace. Much of Canada is still under various winter weather alerts again today as extreme cold, strong winds, heavy snow, and freezing rain are hitting regions from coast to coast. In Newfoundland and Labrador, Environment Canada says blizzard-like conditions remain in the Cartwright-Bay-Vert areas with more snow predicted. Newfoundland Power reporting just over 4,000 customers were without power yesterday afternoon. Heading out west, the Yukon is also under a warning. Frigid temperatures with wind chill values of minus 50 for some areas. Well, tornadoes are not something residents of Los Angeles are used to seeing, but one did touch down on Christmas Day in the Boyle Heights section of L.A., damaging buildings. Resident Mauricio Mendez says he watched it all.
We hear this big gust of wind like hitting our window, and then all of a sudden we look outside and the roof of the neighbors just flying all over the place.
The U.S. National Weather Service confirmed an EF0 tornado with winds of 130 kilometers per hour did touch down, but luckily no one was injured. And basketball star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been named the Canadian Press's Male Athlete of the Year for 2025 after leading the Oklahoma City Thunder to their first ever NBA championship. Rowan Barrett, the general manager of Canada's men's basketball team, says Gilgeous-Alexander deserves it.
What he just did in this last year for any sport, when you start talking about historical performance, one, I mean, obviously he's in the NBA championship, which is first and foremost, right? So he's at the top of his industry, and then he's the most valuable player.
Gilgeous-Alexander is being honored after winning the NBA scoring title, being named the league's MVP and the finals MVP. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Elaine Chuli made 29 saves as the Toronto Scepters defeated the Montreal Victoire 2-1 this afternoon at the Bell Centre in the Professional Women's Hockey League. Brianne Jenner scored the winner in the 8th round of the shootout as the Ottawa Charge defeated the Boston Fleet 3-2. Meanwhile, on the ice in the NHL, they returned from the Christmas break with 13 games on the schedule. 6 Canadian teams are on the ice: the Jets, Leafs, Senators, Oilers, Flames, and the Canucks. Canada is on the ice right now in Game 2 of its World Junior Hockey Championship campaign, facing Latvia in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Earlier, Slovakia rebounded from an opening day loss by beating the Germans 4-1. And Giannis Antetokounmpo may be on the verge of returning from the right calf strain that has kept the two-time MVP from playing in the Milwaukee Bucks' last 8 games. The Bucks issued an injury report listing Antetokounmpo as questionable for tonight's game at Chicago rather than ruling him out entirely. From the Canadian Press, I'm Don Mitchell.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.